The last time I had a family member pass away, I was only 9 years old. I didn't even really comprehend what it really meant for a family member to die. I wasn't even smart enough or intellectual enough to fully comprehend what was really happening. I knew what was happening, obviously. The body dies, you see the body, it's not moving anymore. Okay, now we gotta do the prayer for the body. Okay, now we go to the graveyard, we bury the body, we pour the dirt on it, the body is dead. I could comprehend what was happening when I was 9 years old, but the ramifications of that dead body, of that family member not existing anymore, that wouldn't come to me until a couple years later. And a lot of the stuff that I probably should have learned were gone. I never learned them. I was too busy crying, being a little baby. But this time, I had another family member pass away a couple days ago. It's the second time this has happened in my life. This time I have enough neurons in my mind to figure out some stuff and figure some values out for myself. What was the interesting thing about these past couple days is that I've learned what it really means to live a full, fulfilling, proper life as a man. I wasn't really close to this family member that passed away, but I knew a lot of people. I was very close to a lot of people who had held this family member very near and dear to their heart. And the one thing that I noticed over the couple days is that what people were talking about about this family member, they would never talk about how much money he made or clothes he wore, how his funny antics. They would talk about these stuff, obviously, but to a very minimal degree compared to the real thing that they talked about him, which was the impact he left on the people around him, what he did to serve other people, the sacrifice that he made in order to please the people and stuff that he wanted to please. The things that and the actions that this man took, that is the thing that everyone talked about. They never talked about anything else, his status. They didn't talk about how much property he had. They never talked about any material thing. They only talked about the impact that he left on others. No one cared in the moment how tall he was, how much muscle he had, how much muscle he didn't have. No one cared about what his haircut was. Nobody cared about what clothes he wore. Nobody cared about how he smelled. They only cared about the impact he left on the people around him and the community that he served. Ain't that powerful? Because it doesn't matter how you live your life, you're still going to die eventually. A lot of us, almost all of us, we feel immortal because we have never tasted death. Maybe we've had a couple of near death experiences, but humans are stupid and they never learn the lesson until they learn it the very, very, very hard way. And death is the ultimate lesson that doesn't matter what it is you do in your life, it will eventually come to an end. And it doesn't matter at the end of the day how much money you have, how much money you didn't have, how tall you were, how tall you weren't, what clothes you wore, what clothes you didn't wear, how many properties you had. You're still going to end 6 feet under in the grave, covered by rock, being mourned by all the family members that held you near and dear to your heart, being forgotten about everyone who didn't care about you to even show up to your own funeral. And the thing is that most people, they live lives that don't really cater to their own core beliefs. They try to do stuff to impress others, their friends or family. They do this profession that maybe their parents force them down, or they force themselves down to impress their parents. They take the mortgage on a house which they don't really want to, even though they want to travel the world. They only take the mortgage because that's what a responsible adult's meant to do. They stay in this relationship with a partner that they don't really like all that much. They just do it to feel a sense of companionship, and the partner doesn't even really support their ambitions as a man or their goals or share even the same values as them. A lot of people, they live this false sense of reality to do stuff that they think they should be doing, when really they should be doing what they want to do, doing stuff that caters to what they believe, and they should try to impress and make happy the people that genuinely they want to in the bottom of their heart. And most people, they don't do that. Either they're too scared to do it, or they don't know how to do it, or they think that it's too late, too early. And what I'm trying to say here is, you're gonna die one day. It doesn't matter if you're gonna die tomorrow. You're gonna die after watching this video. If you die in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, you're gonna meet a grim end. That's for sure. No one has escaped death. And you have to align yourself today. Figure out what is important to you today, and what it is that you're really trying to achieve before you die. What empire are you trying to build? What people are you trying to help? What communities are you trying to serve? What family members and friends are important to you that you want to help sustain them and protect them, be the provider that you're meant to be as a man? You need to figure these things out, because if it doesn't matter if you do or you don't, you're still gonna die. I'd rather, you live a very fulfilling life where people actually talk about you even for a couple of days after you die, instead of immediately forgetting about you after you die. Experiencing this death of a family member has made me really focused on what's important in my life. Take out all the bullshit that I'm trying to put on myself and make excuses about, trying to push stuff away and trying to do stuff that's super temporary, instead of doing long-term investments into what will make me truly happy and make others and benefit others from me taking those actions. In a way, the death of this family member has inspired me, has made me really hone in on the values that really matter in my life, and what it is that I want to do with this YouTube channel in the future and my life in the future. You don't know when you're gonna die. When you're on your deathbed, you're gonna have so many regrets, so many pain points in your life, so many things that you wish you could have done differently. We should try and keep that at a minimum, shouldn't we? Try to change and alter the fabric of reality as much as we can. Try and take as many actions towards the life we want to live, and try and take as many actions to, when you're on your deathbed about to die, don't make your inaction a regret, something you think about. Maybe I could have done this, done that. We're all gonna have these regrets, obviously. We're never perfect. We're always gonna pussy out from certain things, certain events that we could have partaken in, certain actions that we should have probably done, but our monkey brain stopped us. Primal instincts of fear prevented us from doing it. But the course of our life, we can alter as much as we can, and we should try and alter our course of life towards the values that we personally, genuinely hold valuable and think are important, not some values that have been put upon us from friends or family that we don't really believe in. So that when you die on your deathbed, even if it is tomorrow, you can at least you can have some solitude in thinking that at least I was making some steps towards the right direction. Even if you didn't reach the final destination, if you had the right direction, you won't have any regrets in that aspect when you're on your deathbed. We're all gonna die. May as well do stuff that we like instead of doing stuff we don't like.